Oh, it's a new month. So, leaderboard. Got put it on Twitter. Death counter's working. Back up. And now they're fighting for their lives on a... I was gonna like wait. Look at my auto grinding on my phone. That's been going for like 1,000. Let's see, last time was Dragon, as I recall. So I guess
here's a real high class
right back into Dragon.
You're up.
Not going well immediately. I may have my death counter off by now. There. Hello, Molokai.
A great slam and then some.
I'm already back at the Dragon. It's gonna take me a little bit to get back into it because I haven't played in a league, as per usual, and this was not going super hot last week. And I'm not doing great already. Alright, well, we're up to phase 2 now. Good. Ah! Oh, there. I'm up to this part of it. Oh, Max. Your name is incredibly dark colored on my stream over on the Streamlabs, so I can barely read it. It's also on the second monitor that's farther away. That's just recent. How's it going? Bad. Yeah, Streamlabs isn't great. But as rate of how it's going, bad. I think bad is how, like, this stream in general is going so far, because I'm not good at Dragon Boss. But the game in general is good. Dodge shot or boomerang shot. Actually, that's actually the auto tracking shot would probably be actually fantastic. I might actually change to that so I could focus on dodging. Yeah, I will check on that after this. I don't remember how much money I've got on me. Charge shot or boomerang? Let me check which ones I have on my person. What button was it for? Inventory. Shift. Shot. I'm gonna try it with Chaser and see how that goes.
A great slam and then some. And begin.
Everything I'm doing right now is, like, those jumps are all my fault. It's just adjusting to the game again after not playing it for a week and only playing Fire Emblem and Smash Brothers. Yeah, I think that's actually working out pretty well.
A brawl is surely brewing. It's on.
Oh, I forgot. It's weapon-based. Which is not a very good one for this one. I might have to switch... My fault again. I'm playing really badly. I might have to switch my secondary one to something else if I want to use the burst attacks. I do have a secondary set. I just forgot to switch it because I forgot that the special ability is based on the weapon type and it's not an equipable thing. It's just like one of the harder things about using secondary with keyboard controls anyway is that it's on tab and it's just slightly awkward. And I don't remember what the spread shot's burst attack is. going well already. I always play games on keyboard, Izzy. The only, I don't think I even have, actually no, I've got, I don't think I have any controllers that natively work with my computer. I do have a DualShock 4 in the other room, but that's for my PlayStation 4, obviously. Okay, I've discovered a problem with the chaser. And it's that, it also chases the fireballs that will definitely split in 4 when shot. I'm definitely not going to get the time rating on this one, I think. I was expecting myself to still be in phase 1. The thing is, I really don't like Xbox controllers. I think DS4 is, like, natively compatible with a computer, but I just haven't tried setting one up. Because I only have one, and I use that for my streaming TV machine, also known as the PlayStation 4. Oh, come on. I didn't know there. Yeah, but I could definitely get a cheap 360 one, but I also really don't want a controller. So please. Sec. I'm gonna switch my weapon really quick. Stop B, I'm gonna put you on P shooter. What I think my split strategy is going to be... Actually, no, I know how to switch my weapon video game. The thing is, I've barely ever used a 360 controller. I didn't have an Xbox at all. None of my friends did either. So it's just, it'd be learning a whole new controller for me. Man, like, my consoles of choice when I was a kid was GameCube and PlayStation controllers in general. The GameCube's definitely not gonna cut it. The controller was kind of weird if you think about it. Should have faced that one. Ah, again. I might have to switch it up there. That's not working out. I don't really worry about dodging stuff on this one. Because this one's perfectly easy. This one's easy enough to handle without worrying about the auto target. That's just me being stupid and overconfident. Oh well. I should just end that phase. I do not know. I added them, before I started. I thought they might be at work or asleep, because I think Saturday might be one of the days affected by them having to stay at work late. Though they did DM me earlier, they were being sweet, which means I feel like they might have been tired or something. I don't know. But that DM also did involve thigh-high Crocs, so I'm not sure where you would rank that. Actually, see if they got back to me. The DM call. Nope. The call. The DM channel in my server. Because it said they were on the way on Discord or whatever, so who knows. Those really close together. They're giving me a lot of them really close together, which is not great. Almost like they're compensating for the difficulty decrease that I'm doing by using the auto target. The thing about that is there, let's see. I'm not sure if those are immune. Wow! Oh yeah, I've been going through some of the reruns from HEDQ. There's some real good stuff in there. Oh, let's see. If you haven't watched the Half-Life 2 run, like I was super into like Source-powered game runs for a long time, a while back, and the run is completely different now. Like, say, I think there was a Half-Life 2 run at one of the GDQs like 3 years ago, and then compare the run to this one, and it's completely different. Kind of same with the Half-Life 1 run, which is also very good. It's like, Valve game speedruns are really cool most of the time. Probably because their engine's broken, and also the Skyrim one is always fun too. I haven't watched... I watched the... Let's see. I think I watched all the Let's Go one, or most of it when it was live. I don't remember which on that.
A great slam and then some.
Mort the Chicken was fantastic. That's like one of the best runs of that entire marathon. I was not aware of Mort the Chicken beforehand. I'm glad to see them all letting in more, more not big crowd selling games. Like, there used to be issues where like people, they put in Super Metroid again, or they put in Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger again, because those ones are really popular. Like, a few years ago, I was super happy because they let the game that I moderate on speedrun.com in, which is like the nichest niche. It's a Madoka Dojin fan game, which is like the smallest percentage of people are gonna watch that. It's why it was on super late, but I still stayed up to watch it and donated during it, as definitely not as a way to plug the speedrun channel for it. Oh wait, I thought I was on my last hit. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to switch off there or get through there perfect. Because this is not working on that last bit.
Red hot. You're up.
I might actually... Here, 1 second. I'm gonna switch to the other one, see if that works better on that last phase. I could actually see why the roundabout one would work too.
A great slam and next up. It's on.
Not switch properly. Okay. Find out what goes through. Yeah, there's I do love this like that GDQ gives me like speedrun content for a good amount of time. There's actually some not sure if you saw this or not, but they had at Lollapalooza this year they had a ton of speedrunners there to demonstrate speedrunning, which is actually whack and unexpected. Now, I think the next GDQ event will be GDQX at TwitchCon, I think, where that is. There's a cat in here. One second, I'm going to go put my cat away. I knew I should have put it away earlier. Oh yeah. Pokemon glitched speedruns are buck wild. They're crazy. Also, if you get a chance to watch some of like the fan game speedruns, like usually the I Want to Be the Boshi speedrun is always great because that game is crazy. There are a few other fan game ones there this year or last year. That's my fault. I got up for a second to banish my cat because she's definitely going to distract me the entire time if I don't do that. Thank you for the follow, the Dino Dude 336. Oh wait, I forgot. Oh yeah, as you probably know this, but I used to make ROM hacks, and it was just so like gratifying for me to see all that stuff there. It's like, I know how they did that. And like, that's one of the things that's actually been bugging me about Mario Maker when I play it, is that how limited it is compared to Lunar Magic, which I've been meaning to do a stream just based around comparing Mario Maker and Lunar Magic, but that'll happen sometime when I get the time to like orchestrate all the stuff for that. But it's always really cool seeing the ROM hacks and Mario Maker in GDQ because it's got like a special place for me because it's just a big nostalgia point for me, I guess. What's that? Yeah. I was. That was my thought train too. But also, like the main issue with that phase of the boss is the the fireballs that split when hit. Just gonna retry since I took.
A great plan.
Yeah.
And begin.
I keep not switching. I did also watch. So I did watch a bit of the Cuphead run up to where I had gotten to in the game, and it's crazy how fast that guy goes through the game. I've tried to avoid watching the runs of games I intend to play or like vaguely am interested in, because I still want to have the game experience without expecting things. There was a Fire Emblem speedrun out this year, actually. I haven't watched it because that's several hours. But those ones are always interesting as a concept because Fire Emblem, it was probably just all like optimization rather than glitches and stuff. Right in front of me. Hour and a half? That's really fast.
We'll get red hot.
Do I have? Alright, Soups will not be here. They've got work in 12 hours and are very tired, which is valid. And I don't want to keep them up if they have work in the morning.
Jesus are you good at this game?
I wish. I did so much better in World 1. But thank you for the 15 bits. It's really just memorization, that's all it is. I say that lots of hard and or difficult games are like that. In my opinion, I believe that anyone can beat a boss in this game. It's just that depends on the amount of time that you're gonna spend on learning how said boss works. What I'm doing here is trying to get as many hits on it during that phase as possible because it still takes... Oh no. That's a little bit on me, a little bit on them. There's a notification on my Discord, and I really want to check it. But I know I shouldn't. But if you really want to see someone who's bonkers good at this game, go watch the one of the GDQ runs of Cuphead, because like usually the whole deal with that is you have to do it with meeting like all of the requirements and do it without taking any hits, which is bonkers. Oh, that was my fault. I should not have gone that close. Three things. Thank you for the follow. Gecko did? I think is how you pronounce that. I'm glad I recently upgraded. Actually set all of my notification things, except bits, because I like the default bit stuff. I really probably shouldn't have done that. That was really risky.
Okay, see ya later, dude.
Alright, thanks. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the bits and the follow. I did not know where I was looking when I did that. The risky thing about doing this like thing in general is that happens. Oh, dude, I love the Mario Sunshine is like one of my favorite games. It's always great to see it at like the speedrunning events. Like, I've considered learning it myself, but I'm so bad at learning 3D games. Like, there's one point I wanted to learn 80% for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but that game is so crazy optimized at this point that it's like almost impossible to break into it. Like, one of the first tricks you have to learn is a clip glitch through the, there's like a diving section in the Lost Woods that you can access like straight out the gate of the game, where you have to clip through the wall because there's like a 1 pixel gap that you have to jump slash through. And that's like the first thing you learn that isn't like movement. Like, compared to like, another one I was trying to pick up was, I've been trying to pick up A Hat in Time because I absolutely adore that game. But like, that one's actually fairly easy. It's just a lot of movement optimization and, like, timepiece optimization. But there is one timepiece trick that I cannot do, which is the cheating the race timepiece, which involves you doing a thing that you intended to do with the time stop hat without the time stop hat, and it's ridiculously optimized, and I cannot do it for the life of me. But like, I learned like everything else in the route for that, except that trick. Like, I could probably substitute in a different one, but it would really cripple the run because all the ones left at that point are really... Okay, so I'm gonna try something different this time. Oh my... So, had that gone correctly, I was waiting for the, I was waiting for him to switch back into flamethrower because he doesn't shoot out, like fireballs at that point. And then just go ham with what I got. But there was a fireball. Hey, Sarah. How'd the Yakuza go? Ah. That time. That's my fault. I'm just gonna restart.
Here's a real
I keep my eyes on like every chat that has promotion and stuff in it. People call me crazy, but I don't. I have push notifications turned on for almost every server I'm in. You can definitely bounce over that. I'm not gonna try it because there's absolutely no point in doing that. But it's an option, I guess. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. I haven't had a migraine, but I've had a canker sore on like the immediate bottom of my lip for like the past week, and it's actually the worst because I feel it like every time I talk because it's like banging against my teeth and whatever. So I found out that certain types of water will aggravate it, and that unfortunately happens to be the water that comes out of the water fountain at my job. Yeah. It's really bad when I eat, because I eat a lot of... It's the worst with, like, salty stuff or pointy stuff, So I've been putting, like... People call me a heathen for this also, but I was putting kettle chips on my ice cream. And, like, the main thing with kettle chips is that they're very crunchy and, like, they're not, like, soft chips, if you get what I mean. They don't break easily, is, like, the main deal with them. And unfortunately, that makes, like, kind of sharp edges, which are not great for a canker sore. Especially when they also are covered in salt. Of course, maybe me, I did not stop eating them. I just went to dealt with it, I guess. Thank you for the follow, Sarah.
Here's a real high-class bout. And begin!
Listen, I like weird things, some things, but at least they make sense. It's not like I'm Pyro. Oh, thanks for the host, Sarah. Yeah, you get to see my other wonderful notification. Well, one of my other notifications. I still need to update the sound for that one because there's in the song Chocobo by Hayden, which is composed of only one word, and the word is Chocobo, there's a perfect soundbite that I could use for hosting, and I just have not ripped it out of that 10-year-old song yet. Which is whack. I can't believe that song is that old. Hayden is also the, people, I guess? I'm not sure if Hayden is a person or a group, but they did, I believe it's he, actually, yeah. He did the, opening for, Nichijou. I believe both seasons? I'm not seasons. Both openings. But I might need a fact check on that. But, yeah. It's weird, whack that that guy went from, like, doing, like, parody songs of video games to actually doing an opening for an anime. Did we do this early? Okay. No! Ah. Man. That's not going well.
A brawl is surely brewing. And begin!
Okay, cool. Phase 3. Why did I do that? There's absolutely no reason for me to have done that. I get to do the phase that should be free. Like, the first two phases at this point really should just be free for me, and they're not, because I keep messing up, like, the most basic things. Oh, actually, something completely unrelated to what I was saying before, Ezzy, if you're still here, and if you haven't, please watch the blindfolded speedrun of Punch-Out for the Wii that was on last GDQ, because it is actually insane. That no one has business being that good at Punch-Out as Zallard does. Like, I could not beat that game like, casually or whatever. Wow! How did I do this the first time?
A brawl is surely brewing. And begin!
Oh yeah, Mologai. If you have not seen it,
Here's a real high-class
like, try to break out sometime and at least watch some of it. Because it is absolutely ridiculous. I'm pretty sure it was a world record. Oh, I was not expecting 2. I was expecting 1. That's my fault. Actually, like, I mentioned this before, but, like, the little soundbite before these fire guys jump, it gives me, like, heavy flashbacks to Ape Escape 1 for the PS1. And it kind of just makes me want to go back and replay that game, even though I know that game has definitely aged very poorly in the, like, the control department. Okay, so I'm gonna bop out of there. The roundabout one is definitely not working, so I have an idea. Roundabout, spread, picture. I'm gonna go back to... Actually, I think spread will probably still hit. So, what I'm gonna do is just try to be more...
Here's a real
conservative? I don't think that's the word. But more metered when I actually use my shots in that last phase. Rather than just going ham and holding it down like I normally do, because there's actual consequences for shooting things. Consequences in the video games. Oh, wow. Oh, I still got hit. I saved myself, and then I didn't.
Here's a real high-class bout. Here goes.
Ah. Shouldn't have gone for that, because touching the ground, it cancels my counter. And I was going up through a platform, so I would have gone into the stand-in sprite. Messing up too many times there.
Here's a real
I don't know if hitting the reset button counts as a death, but I'm assuming it does. I'm going to check the death pond after I'm done with him to find out. If I'm majorly over, then retries are not deaths. Wow, that was also on me. Oh boy, that has significantly lower range than I remember it having. Nope. I should have dashed backwards, but I think that's gonna work. So basically what deal is just leave auto on and just don't use it when there's bullets on screen for him. Or when they're closer than like the actual hitbox for the bosses. I probably could have air dashed that instead of just taking the fall. Had I noticed, that is. Ah, I faced the wrong way. Nope, get me off screen. But that seems like it should work.
Here's a real high-class bout. It's on.
I really should have brought water to hydrate myself, but I didn't. He wants to break into my house and bring me some water. And like a teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide and a teaspoon of mouthwash. I will not explain what the last two are for, but I assure you it's not meth. Awesome. I don't like these, like, middle clouds, and I have no idea why It's like they're not any different than the other ones. I guess it's just because they're closer to the bottom. And the bottom is bad time. Oh, it's interesting. It looks like his default hitbox is on the bottom. Okay, there. Back to the safe zone. Ah, I was hoping I could no-hit him. No! Ah! How close was I? I was right there. Man! I was so close. That's like 1 or 2 hits, probably. Or like 1 or 2 good barrages.
Good day.
Like, if he had gone into Flamethrower phase, he would have been dead. Absolutely, because that's just all 3 hits with the strategy I'm doing now. And if I had probably... If I had been able to charge up, like, a second, like a 2-cup barrage, whatever they're called. I'm sure it has an in-game name. But if I had a second one of those, he also would have been dead. Just like those 2 things. But having that is based on gameplay, but you can also make some damage carry over. So I'm not exactly sure how the damage carrying over works, but I know it's possible to over-damage in one phase. So the next phase is significantly shorter or gets skipped. That was a very risky jump that I probably should not have done, but I did it anyway. And there, I've done it again. There. Just good. Oh, okay. I've never actually been hit by him when he's in that animation. I didn't know he still had a damage box. I know he had a hitbox because he's taking damage. But, so I guess it would make sense for him to still have a hurt box on him. Well, actually, I might be able to get a second recut barrage. Okay. Man, they really home in on that over the actual hitbox. I guess that could be just to say, oh no, you don't. Gotta use something else, don't use the homing button. But I'm gonna use the homing thing because it's much easier than actually using the other stuff. Okay, use it here. Then I'll still be able to recharge it by that phase, so I'll have the extra damage going out. I think, anyway. Yeah, that was definitely shorter than before. There, it's all charged again. Let this go off for a little bit, then stop. It's gonna do that. So it looks like... Boy. Chill. Okay. Ooh, that was really close. For a game strategy, sure, go ahead. I am using a suggestion that someone else gave me earlier, which seems to be working. Ah! That's my fault. That is all my fault. It's really close again.
This match will get red hot. It's on!
That's setup. Well, currently, the setup I'm using right now is just the homing one because there's just so much moving going on in the the actual third form of the boss, not the third phase, because there's 6 phases, I think, technically. I'd have to count the flagpoles on the death screen, but in the third form of the boss, there's just so much going on that I don't think I'd be able to hit him and still progress and avoid shooting the bullets he's shooting at me that split down into 4. So I'm just using the homing for that. Normally I use spread shot and pea shooter, mostly spread shot because of my risky-ish play style. I'm not sure if I call it that, but something along those lines. I did not dodge. Oh boy, why did I do that? I am using the what's it called? The name of it has left my mind. The dashing one. The invincibility dashing charm, whose name I've forgotten. I believe. Why did I jump up there? That was stupid. Oh my! Let's see. I'll check the name of the farm I'm using, because I've just been using this one the entire game. Smoke Bomb is what I'm using. The only one I have, other one I have is Heart, and I have no extra coins, and I'm definitely not about to grind coins on stream. Because I feel like that would be even more boring.
Now go.
Also, I don't want to grind coins. I'm bad at the running gun stages, unless I'm playing like the very first one. Let's see, other weapons I have is... I think I have all of them except one. I've got Lobber, which I was trying to use earlier, but it was just coming back and hitting the, it's just coming back and hitting the shots, so I was not using it. There's Homing, which I'm using right now. Then I've got Pea Shooters, Red Shot, and... No, Lobber and the Boomerang. So, yeah, those are all the ones I've got. I assume you can grind coins that way. I honestly have not tried, because I haven't really felt like I've needed them. I could try using Lobber if I don't win this time, because I haven't used it before. I guess I could try it as an experiment. It looks like I'm probably going to lose, considering I got hit on the free phase. This is probably a bad place to use that. Yep. So, note to myself, don't use that on the bottom cloud. Like, as soon as I did it, it was like, well, I should definitely not have done that. So, let me switch Red to Lobber. See how that works. I'm going to switch to it on...
A brawl is surely brewing. You're up.
I'll have to see. That might be a little awkward, but I can see how that would work because of its downward arc. Oh, you can't grind coins? Okay. Yeah, that does also make sense. It's just there's enough per stage or whatever. Look at that. That's stupid. I shouldn't have done. That is one issue I have, is that sometimes when I try to switch weapons, I accidentally hit shift instead of tab. Alright, this phase should be free, as long as I don't make a fool of myself again, which I seem to have already done. I have not looked at my supers for a good while, but I believe the only other one I have is the invincibility one, which honestly feels like it's not worth even using. Yeah, I could definitely see this one working. Ah, that's my fault. That is... Okay. I can definitely see Lobber working there. That I appreciate your contribution.
You're up.
Because the way the art goes on that is almost definitely not gonna hit one of the shots. I just was an idiot and walked off thing and fell on one of them. That was a bad lineup. Oh, wow. Man, I wish that had some lingering invincibility frames on it. I'm just gonna restart, because that was a bad start, and I was definitely not gonna make it through that. I really wish the Hypers had some lingering invincibility frames on it, because it drops me into shots all the time. That was really risky. I really shouldn't have done that, but I did. Oh yeah. These are lining up really badly in my right now. I'll just do that. See if I can get some over damage. Not sure. Again, I'm just making that up. I don't even know how the over damage glitch works, or if it's a glitch, or if it works on this boss, or really anything. There's a wall. That turned out really good. Wow. Too bad. This is... okay, I was thinking... this kind of feels like a difficulty wall in the games, like you kind of have those with like other games. It's like, oh, this is the difficulty wall in this. But I'm glad that I'm not just like choking myself on like one of the easier bosses. Yeah. My deal with the third phase, like I said earlier, is just home during the flamethrower like attack. Because I am definitely not comfortable with doing it before, because it seems to favor targeting the bullets over the dragon, because it looks like the anchor point for the homing bullets on the dragon in that phase is the bottom left corner, and like I don't know if the homing goes for what's closest, which makes sense, and that looks like that's what it does, but I can't be certain. I'm going to try the lobber strategy a little bit, because it seems like it makes sense that it would work and not hit the other ones as much. But it also means I'm doing an extra thing and not looking exclusively at the bullets. I'm going to try this and see where the hitbox on that is. Okay. Oh, what? Yeah, this boss does not play nice with that hyper attack at all. Just because everything's constantly moving. So, there's one other problem I have, which is 100% a me problem, not a problem with the game. It's that I keep mixing up X and Z on my computer keyboard, because Z and X are the jump and attack ones, and I'm used to them being the other way around for stuff, and I'm just too stubborn to change them, or I could just forget to, and then I don't. Because I also do sort of have the muscle memory built up for the way it is in this game, but if I think about it too much, I go, X should be jump, and then it isn't. So if I just go based on like solely muscle memory, I'm gonna be perfectly fine. But if I... honestly, I don't think the extra heart would be as helpful because these are basically survival things, right? And using the extra heart charm lowers your attack damage. So it really kind of just boils down to the same thing, but in a different way. I do own the heart charm, but I kind of don't want to use it. It's kind of like a misplaced sense of, no, I have to be the gamer, I have to beat the video game without the help. Kind of like how I recently I played through all of the stages in Super Mario Maker, and I refused to use the help system because I remember in one of the new Super Mario games is like, well, we'll give you this assist hat, but if you use it, you won't get some of the stuff in the end of the game. And I've just had kind of like this built-in fear of me locking myself out of parts of games for not doing stuff a certain way. Even though like it was like, since it was Super Mario Maker, there's just no way they're gonna lock me out of something. But I still refuse to do it. I'm very stubborn when it comes to video games, and I will only admit that when my bag isn't here because they will definitely call me out on how I've done certain things. So I'm gonna try just the homing strategy this time. I might go to lobbing after the first phase. One more go with the flamethrower, and I think I'll be done with this boss. How are you not dead yet? Why? Look at that! Look at that! I guess the extra heart might have helped a little bit, but look at that. That is I call this image upsetting. I'm mad.
A brawl is surely brewing. Here goes.
But I think, like, I obviously can do it if I'm making it to the last phase with full health. I definitely can do it. There's no question about that. It's just getting the stars to align and me not being an idiot. Oh, hey, thanks for pointing that out. There you go. I was actually completely unaware of that. Usually I check the previous screen before anything to make sure my layout isn't obscuring anything, but I forget sometimes. Sorry, no, look, I was hiding health from it. Whew. See, come on. Yeah! Finally! $2.55, boy. A B. Sorry, Molo guy. I was very excited. I beat the boss. I was really worried that this entire stream was just gonna be that boss again. Well, again, no. I beat a bunch of other bosses last stream, but most of the stream was Dragon. Dice Man. Enter. Dice Man. Sorry, actually, I'm gonna jam to the sweet jazz in Dice Man's house.
I'm Mr. King Dice. I'm the gamest in the land. I never play nice. I'm the devil's right-hand man. I can't let you pass, 'cause you ain't done everything. Bring me those contracts, come on, bring them to the king. If you haven't finished your class, haven't worked.
What a 6 here. I just realized that there was something I wanted to check before that. But that, the Mr. Dice theme song is a certified banger. I love it, as the kids call it. So another thing. Oh, hey! Oh, the missing one. I think I have to do, like, I think it's an L ranking or whatever to get the, let's see. 298, so yeah, they do not count resets as deaths. Thanks, Spooky Water. Well, anyway, so I work in a retail store. I work in electronics and sort of toys. Recently, we've done a reset, and we're rearranging anything, and we have Cuphead toys, and it's kind of weird. Looks like I might have underestimated you, Bobs. You gave it to them good. Yeah, just look good. Go over to the next side. Lots of fun there waiting for you. Thanks. I am actually, though, after the stream, I'm definitely looking up that full song. The bugs are some fighting, I'll say that much. They're making mincemeat out of them. Sorry. One of the action figures for Cuphead that we did get in was just the devil. See, I knew there was something special about those fellas. Well, don't be so sure yet, boss. I think there's something fishy about those two. Don't blow your wig, Dice. Those two little freaks try think I'll be waiting. Can't wait to fight Satan in this video game. Where are we at now? Downtown? Arr, if you need some tips, see, you want to key all these deadbeats. I've been mixing up your weaponry. Expect all your arms to work the same on every phone. Mix and match, lame lovers, that's wise. The voice changed halfway through there. But also, remember. Let's see, so we got Pirate, I assume. That's blocked off, so I think it looks like our options are Pirate and Building. I guess Honeycomb Herald.
Good day for a
Oh.
well battle. It's on.
You know, I did see your last message. That is, I mean, I wouldn't encourage that because I feel like dead bug smell is probably not the best thing to have cooking in your house. Oh boy, this is not gonna be fun. So let's, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that right now. I'm going to go see what the pirate's all about. I was hoping Dragon was the last moving stage. Shooting and looting.
A great slam and then.
Okay. Hey, it's Bruno Berto from the, This is very Popeye-y. Okay. Ah! Ah! Sharp. This is probably not a good place to be. Yep, no. I did pretty good though. Period. Yeah, I'm aware. Oh boy, I was only doing that second. Boy, he's got a lot of health. Thank you for the follow, Claydo 003.
You're up.
Now this is probably a much better way to do it than the like rocking back in the keyboard thing I was doing. Oh, okay. Don't know the hitbox of this thing just quite yet. Oh, okay, so that it just screws with my screen. I was worried that that would kill me. Dogs, okay. Okay. I have to figure out what their jump arc is. So there's just 3 phases to this one.
A great slam and then stop.
I feel like this one won't be too hard. The one issue with using this, the spread shot here, is that these definitely blend in. The shots really do blend in with my spread shot. Oh, okay. That's what that one does. I keep putting myself in a really bad position there.
Now go!
Boy. I don't know what I was doing different on my first run through. Oh boy. I changed my angle right as that one came out. But I believe there's 4 of those there. I got Jark, but he's gonna come in from the left. That's fine. Shark is completely free. Ow. Dogs. Okay, I didn't realize I could make him go way faster, but it makes sense. Oh, I don't like that. No, no. Refrain. I don't. Stop. Stop. Oh. Well. Boy, I'm not in a good position here. Oh boy. That was a bad place. I don't like a lot of things that are happening there.
A great slam and then some. You're up.
So I think I can just like do this for this like first phase. That's easy enough. As soon as shit happens, I feel like they're gonna have to change what I'm doing. Shark's easy. Ah. Let's have... Dogs. Oh.
A brawl is
Got yourself
thrown
broke.
and begins.
I honestly have not been reading the death screens in this game, and I really should, because I know they got nice flavor text on them. Ah, okay. Okay, Shark's free anyway. dogs. Yep. Yeah, you're right. He is just calling himself broke, or he has all his money in the bank. Can't consider a bank buried treasure, right? Ah, I can just shoot this one. More. We got dark shark free. Dogs. Last one? Oh. Nope. You can you parry the squid or can you parry his ink? Because that might be a game changer. Squid, he shoots something. Oh! That's a squid? I thought that was... Honestly, I thought that was like a gumball machine. But I'll try that, I'll see what happens. I guess you're right. It seems really finicky, though. Yeah, so I think it's only parryable when, Okay, and it also makes him put it away right away. That is a game changer. So basically, now it's a kid. It's a squid now. It's a gum now. I don't think I've ever seen "You're a squid now, you're a kid now" like that trailer. I've never actually seen that trailer for Splatoon. I did not watch much like. I did not watch much like pre-Splatoon. Come on. Okay, so it doesn't cancel him. I just got lucky and hit him on one that was probably the last one. Dark. It almost seems not worth it to try to go for that counter on this. On the soup squid. Oh, I'm in this phase now. So I hope this doesn't try me on something.
A great slam and then some. Here goes.
The one that I was like hoping for it to be a nice counterable one, but no, it's yellow. It's only out there for like a few fractions of a second. That's a really tight counter window, dogs.
A great slam
I
and
do
that
not have a
Here goes.
good hold on the frame windows for counter still. Encountering his whistling? I could try. Like, get to that phase. Or once he starts doing it. I was hoping he would be at the whistles section, but he is not. Oh, he technically was, but he's doing
A
the,
great slam and that Here goes.
he was doing his shoot gun phase first. Let's find out. No, that's not pink. That is definitely red. Does this activate boat? Yes, I've activated boat. Boat activate. Wow, that was a good time dodge. Boy, there's a lot going on. Mologai, that's a car horn.
This match will get red hot.
Have you not heard of classic Awuga car horn before? Oh, no, sorry. No, you're right, that does sound like a baby crying. It might be like a old spin sound effect. Dogs. This is putting me in a bad position. Let's see if I can activate boat. And if I activate boat, then I wanna... Okay, I've activated boat. Oh boy. Ugh. There is so much going on. Nope. There is so much going on in this fight now. So we've got
Here's a real
Crate
high-class
of Doom from space, from the sky. We've got Pirate with Squid Gun. And now we have Boat. And also Shark sometimes. Like, Shark is technically free, but only if you have the right, if you're able to be over by the boat and he's not spitting cannonballs at you. I feel like I might go homing on this one also, so I can focus more on dodging than aiming. Or I might go homing after, like, the first phase. Dogs. The squid honestly doesn't seem like an issue, it just like affects the darkness of your screen? Unless getting hit by it multiple times kills you, which makes sense. Oh. I hit the Windows button.
A brawl is surely brewing. You're up.
I couldn't see that one. I was just going on instinct, hoping that it was a counterable one. Invincibility frames, carry me through, please. This is really my only option between this and vertical scrolling the stage. Yeah, I should probably switch Pea Shooter because I'm not using it at all. I think I'm actually out of range and not doing any damage. There you go. So, I'm gonna pop out of the stage and switch Pea Shooter and switch a few things around. So let's put you on that just for now. Put you on that. Put you on this. There. So I'm gonna do the first, like, phase and a half spread shot on. And then switch to that. See how that works. Go here like this. No, okay, that has a hitbox on when it's coming up. So it probably just has a hitbox the entire time. Now I was in invincibility frames. This bolt activates, then I know it's a bad time. He's only doing it 2 times now. He's doing it faster. Dogs. That's a good combo there. Still not in boat phase. Now I'm in boat. That's hard. That's very hard.
A brawl is surely brewing. Now go!
Ah. Oh, okay. Now I see why. Now I understand why squid is bad. So. Oh, ship is activated. Boy, that's gonna be tough. I'm making a decent amount of progress.
And begin!
Ah. That's really hard to do the parries close up. Boy, he went into that like right away.
A great slam and then stop. Now go!
I'm figuring it like, why not just blow that right away and not gonna use it on anything else? Dogs. There. Bark. There. Go that again. Oh, I didn't know his boat was activated.
This match will get red hot. Here goes!
I need to be faster at reacting to the boat coming alive because it's like it's got wind up time on it, though. Okay, one more. Oh wow, okay. That is another problem I consistently have, is parrying into the bottom and then taking damage, because I assume the parry box is the top of you. Okay, I think, does that mean I'm in boat phase now? No, I'm in dog phase. Hey. Nope. I noticed I was in boat that time. To my credit, I did realize I was in boat. I just did not account for all the things. That, and back. Oh, dogs. Oh. That's weird. Normally that happens when I accidentally tilt it up to shoot up. I wonder what happened that time. I wonder if did they jump out slightly closer each time? Ah! I gotta watch my bounce off of that. Oh, boat. Boy. I gotta remember to... I think what I've gotta do there is I've gotta be air dashing or dodging, whichever the term is. I was not looking. That's my fault.
This match will get red hot. Now go!
Alright. Okay, I've made it. I've survived in boat for a small amount of time. Oh, what? Ah! Okay. 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 I'm not sure what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting lifeboat. One last go.
Good day for us. Well done.
This is the last go, okay. This is 12:59, so. Can you parry the uvula? It's not pink, Molokai. It's obviously the hitbox. I'm fairly certain it's the hitbox anyway. Not put me in a bad place. I still took damage though. Okay. Can I even hit that? Punch the uvula, make it vomit. Well, that's not what I wanted to end the stream on, Molokai. But anyway, that is the end of the stream because it is 1 a.m. in the morning, that's my stream stop time. So thanks everyone for watching out. Thanks to everyone who followed today. That was actually quite a lot today. Thanks for all the bit donations. Thank you, Sarah, for the host. Also, if you wanna catch more updates on when streams are, you can follow me on Twitter, or you could join the Discord server and look in the stream updates room. Both are linked below. If you want to support me, you can give bits. You can subscribe, especially if you have Twitch Prime. The subscribe is free. If you have not used your monthly subscribe yet, you can donate. You can or follow me even. Like, you don't have to give money. You can just follow. Follows are great. And right, I believe that's everything. You can also watch, for some of the new people that showed up tonight, you can watch the backed up Cuphead streams on YouTube. On the gaming channel below, you can watch the anime stuff that I have not worked on the other one. And that's about it, but there's one, like, little house cleaning thing I'm gonna do. So, I'm planning, big quotes around planning, having two bonus streams this week on Thursday and Friday. I've not decided what they are going to be yet, but look out for those, probably starting around 9 o'clock instead of 11, because I have the other streams that I have to get to. They'll go from probably 9 to 10:30 or 11, depending. But yeah, that's everything. Thanks everyone for coming out. Wait, and I'll see you guys next week or on Monday, depending on what happens. Bye!